Hello everyone, I am bringing you a tips and tricks / beginner guide for Core Keeper. This is a game that I've been playing a lot recently. I know that it's not my usual content, but I don't really have usual content. I kind of just play what I like, and that's the whole point about this. The first thing you have before you even generate a world is you could go into the settings and you could change some of the settings here. One of the main things I would do is turn up the brightness a little bit. Normally it's in the middle here, and that is pretty dark for me. So I like to turn it up. You could turn it up to the max if you would like, but I feel like one before the max is pretty good. You have some of the audio settings if you don't like the music or anything like that. The music's really good, pretty chill. They do good with changing it for the worlds. You can show some of the mini maps. This stuff's all very good to have on. And then the gameplay settings, if you don't like the screen shakes, you don't need to turn that on vibration, whatever. You don't need to have that stuff on, but I leave it on. And then override season is what override season does is when there is a season like Halloween or Christmas or Easter, it will automatically change to that season. So you could turn off seasons to make it never have those seasons, or you could have done override seasons, which will have it as, you know, how it lines up with our calendar. So now going into the game, as you can see, I have 2 worlds right now, and these were worlds that I started to play on. I've been playing on this one that I have called New, very creative for the name, but you guys won't have anything, so you just hit world slot, and then world name does not matter. You don't need to worry about the world seed either. The only thing you really need to worry about on this screen right here is what difficulty you want to play it on. Casual is very, very, very easy. If you want to just have a chill ride and you don't want to worry about the monsters, you could do casual. I recommend standard because that gives you a little bit more of the difficulty. You still have a little bit of a challenge, and you're not just walking straight through the game, not having to fight anything. And then hard is very hard. This is what I played on my first world, and I switched over to a standard world, not because I couldn't do the hard world, but because it was hard. It was hard to get resources. It was hard to fight the monsters. If you got hit by a monster, you got one shot. You go to world generation. If you don't want to mess with any of the things, you don't have to. You can see different types of chambers, rivers, lakes, pits. The only one that could be beneficial that doesn't affect the gameplay really is the ceiling holes. Ceiling holes, you're in a cave in this game, so the ceiling holes just allow light to come through the cave, so you could turn that up a little bit higher if you like more light or not. Now, once you decide the settings you want for your world, then you're going to go to character creation. As you can see, I already have a character. So I could join that character on anybody's world. If I have any friends that play this game and they make a world, I could join on any of the worlds that I have, so I could bring this guy over into any new world I create as well. Then you could go into the character type. I would always recommend standard. If you play hardcore, when your character dies once, they are dead forever. They will never come back. So standard is the recommended character type. Here you can do all the customizations. As you can see, they're all right here. Here you can see all the customizations, and the important thing on this screen is background. There are different backgrounds, like this one's Explorer, which gives you some food rations to start off with, gives you running skill, and a small lantern. Is what I'm going to say is that your background does not necessarily matter. It matters with what you start off with, but you are not locked into one of these backgrounds. For example, if you pick the fisherman, you're not locked into only fishing. Anybody in any background could level up their skills in order to do the same things. So generally, I would recommend starting off with the miner. I just like having the copper pickaxe to start off with. And we will just randomize this character. Guy looks cool. And we will go in. So I wanted to show you the general stuff on the screen right now. Up in the top left, you'll see that I have an HP bar is my top bar, and underneath that is food. You need to make sure to have your food up. It'll warn you when you're hungry. Your character will be like, I should eat, or I'm starving, or something like that. And you know, that's when you know to eat some food. Things to eat will always say when eaten. Now there are things like mushrooms that can be cooked. I'll go into that in a little bit in detail in a minute here. You get a little crafting screen here on the side. I didn't really notice this when I was first playing, and then I'm like, oh snap, that's how I actually start crafting. So we could craft some torches here just by pressing A. So it takes 1 wood, and we can make our first workbench if we would like. and a chest, why not? And you know what, we'll create a pickaxe as well. These pickaxes only require wood, and as you can see, these are wood pickaxes. That's why I like to start off with the miner. I accidentally didn't click the miner, but I like to start off with the miner because you have a copper pickaxe, which will do more mining damage. As you can see in the bottom right, I have a couple options. I have A, which will rotate the way that it is pointing, and then I have LT, which will place it down. Now, the way how workbenches work are you press A on it or you click on it, and you can now start crafting things. As you can see, I could craft a wooden sword, a wooden hoe, a watering can, and so on. One of the first things you're going to need is a furnace, so then you can smelt some ores. Here's a cooking pot. Like I said, you could cook food. And then eventually, each workbench, you want to upgrade into the next workbench. So here you see I would need copper bar and wood in order to go to a copper workbench. I will talk about the crafting again in a little bit, but I wanted to go into your character. If you press X, you can open your inventory. Now, down in the bottom right, as you can see, if I push in the left stick, it will give me settings. So let's say I have 21 of these torches and I wanted to pick a path. If I hit up LB, then I could pick a path and I could put half into one chest or whatever and keep half. You could also quick stash. So if you have a chest down, if I hit RT and A, it'll just put the thing right in there. Now I want to show you something cool. If you already have something in there, let's say this chest I have full of ore, and I want to take all the ore that I have been mining and put it into that chest, and I don't feel like clicking through. First, you can hit RT and A on it to send it up there, or you could hit this quick stack. Quick stack lets you move stuff that you have in your inventory straight to the chest if something is in the chest. For example, the torch. If I hit quick stack, it moves the torch from my inventory up into the chest. So that's something that just makes it a little bit easier for inventory management and when you're working with chests. Also, when you are working with chests, I want to show you something. You see, I have this wood in my inventory, and you know what? I'll take everything out of my inventory just for this example. I have nothing in my inventory, and I go to this workbench, and I can still craft anything that has the wood because I have this chest here adjacent to the workbench, and it will take the stuff from that chest and put it into the workbench whenever I craft. So I can show you, I can just make this wooden hoe, and now I have that in my inventory. So it takes the stuff straight out of the chest. It makes it a little bit easier. So if you're going to have like different furnaces and stuff like that, you want to make sure that you have a chest designated for your crafting bench or your workbench. So you can just throw everything in it that requires, you know, your smelted bars, your wood, and whatever else you're gonna need for crafting. I believe here, like I need fiber for the livestock workbench, which you don't need for a little bit. Here we need dirt blocks to make a furnace. So yeah, I would make sure to throw all that stuff into the chest, you know, that's connecting to this workbench. All right, so now I am on my other world, and it's a little bit of a mess here, but I wanted to go onto here to show you some of the other things. In the inventory management, you can see I have all this stuff equipped. You can see here I have a set of items here for my gear. Some gear has sets, which down at the bottom it'll be like 3 set equals, or 3 set, and you get some type of bonus. And then it'll tell you what you have to equip to get that bonus. One of the things that you could get early on is the Ring of Rock and the Ring of Stone, which increases your mining damage. These are very good just for general exploration and just traveling around the map. Here's another mining damage one. You could get backpacks, which increase your inventory slots. You see how I have almost half of my inventory just went away. I could equip that. You get pets at points, and you get lanterns. I wanted to go into the skills. So, you know, this is where I was telling you at the beginning that your class does not matter. I started off as a miner, but things go up as you use them. So as I mine, my mining damage and my mining skills will go up, and you have talents in your mining skills, and you could do that for every single skill. So in order to level up the skills, you just have to do those things. If I craft, I'll get more armor. If I defeat enemies, I'll get more vitality, and then you get the talents. So that's kind of a little bit with the skills, and I just wanted to show you. This is a very late workbench in the game. So you only have to have one of the workbenches, but I could cycle through the wood workbench, the copper workbench, the tin workbench, or I could go through any of these workbenches and craft anything that I want as long as that I have the resources, and it's all through one workbench. And you could do the same thing when you get the anvils. You could create gear later on as long as that you have made them. All right, so for my next thing, I wanted to show you guys cooking. So cooking, you will have this cooking pot. In order to cook, you need to put in food in this first slot and the second slot, and it will make food. Generally, throughout the beginning of the game, you'll be eating mushrooms all the time. You do not want to eat the mushrooms raw. You want to make sure to cook them because you get more food from them, you get more health, and you get more benefits. You could also combine any food that you want in the game. So I could, like I was saying, put 2 of these heartberries together. You see, I have never crafted 2 heartberries together. I don't know why, but I could. You then get recipes of stuff. So after you craft it, you see before that was blacked out. Now it'll show up that I crafted that. So if I do that, it will show me what it is. And as you can see, you could also combine the mushroom with the heartberries. So cooking is pretty easy, and you want to make sure you're doing it all the time. Just bring back food, throw it in there. At the beginning, it doesn't really matter what food you combine. So there is a lot of tips and tricks for this game. I don't want to go into all the tips and tricks, but there's specific tips and tricks for farming. There's specific tips and tricks for the electricity, railways, different ways to transport yourself, different ways to transport items. So all that I will show you in the future as well. One more thing I forgot in this inventory is you could change your equipment. Right here I have equipment set for farming. So this stuff will give me larger harvests. This is my main, just traveling and stuff. This is just extra gear I had. This stuff's going to be my mining damage once I get the other piece of that. But you have that as well. On PC, you could change your settings, so you could change what controls do what. So it's a little bit easier to switch through this equipment on PC, but you can't really do it on console. Hopefully they add that one day, but this game's been out for a while, so I don't know. I know that they keep updating it, so maybe they will. And just as you explore, make sure to collect everything. If you get full on inventory, and it will fill up fast, go back, throw everything in chest, try and keep it as neat as possible. And yeah, this is all that I have for you guys. Actually, I have a lot more information that I could go into more depth. Like I said, farming, the electricity, different crafting stuff, what materials you need to use. But this was just for beginners, people who are just starting off the game, who needed to learn a little bit more about the game. Some overall things: just make sure to collect all the food that you can, and make sure to cook food before you eat it. Make sure to utilize this little thing on the left-hand side here. Xbox, you push on the left stick, just to make sure you know the shortcuts to be able to move items. And eventually I could get into some of the farming guides and things that will make your life easier throughout the game. So if you guys want more of that stuff, let me know, and I will go into that in the next video. And I just hope that you guys enjoy this one. We are almost at 100 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. Just make sure to keep up with the likes, comments, and subscribing, of course. I really do appreciate it. It keeps me motivated. I know this isn't my usual content, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, everything is going to be usual content eventually. I play what I want to play, and I'm not going to force myself to play a game if I don't want to play it at the time. I'm not saying like go to the board. I'm still gonna play it. I just been having a little bit of issues with my computer and playing it. I'm taking a little bit of a break. Hopefully some of the bugs get fixed out in that game. And this is what I've been playing in the meantime. So if you guys enjoy it and you want more tips and tricks, you want more guides, let me know. I really appreciate you guys' support, and I hope you all have a great day.